Hi guys, just want to do a quick video of a new product I got. I'm going to do a little series of these, of stuff that I've picked up whilst I've been away, and also some bits that I've sort of had in parcels here waiting for me when I've arrived. Been a sort of a couple of little online buys from Forge World and things like that whilst I was away. So first one I want to show you today, guys, is a set from Secret Weapon Miniatures. It's the Blasted Wetlands basing kit. Now, off the top of my head, I think I paid about £12 for this kit, which personally I think is really good value for money for what you get in the set compared to some other products. I mean, if you were to get a basing kit from Games Workshop, you're looking at what, I think they're about £20 now, something like that. I'm not sure if the price has gone up recently on them. Now, this kit gives you all the stuff that you need to make Blasted Wetlands bases. It doesn't give you the bases themselves, the hollow bases or anything like that. It's just the products to actually make the bases once you've got them. Now, you get quite a lot in this kit. So you'll see we've got two little bottles here as well. First one is a little bag of sand. Now this is very fine grain sand. A lot finer than what you'd normally be getting in sort of a basing modelling kit. See if I can get this focus for you. You see there, it's literally like powder, which is perfect because you mix that, make a little sort of paste out of that with some PVA, and it really does work well. It really gives you a fine sort of effect. Now you could, depending on the amount of PVA you use, you can make it look like wet mud, you could make it look like dry mud, you can make it look like sand. So it's a very sort of versatile material. Now the second one is, I'm not really sure what this is actually made of. It's almost the same grain as this sand, maybe even a little bit finer. But it's sort of a dark green moss colour. Now, that's exactly what it's meant for, moss. So, you mix, again, a tiny bit of PVA in with a little bit of this, make it into almost like a paste, and apply it to things like logs, trees, anything that you want to have a mossy effect on. Once it dries and looks absolutely fantastic. Really good idea, that little bit of kit there. I'm not sure if it's sort of finely ground foam or what. That's what it feels like to me. Next one is sort of again coloured, sort of almost foamy flock type material. If I can get that to focus for you, bear with me. There we go. It's all different sort of grades in there, but you can break it up into small bits, you can break it up into bigger bits. It does crunch down quite well. Now that's for sort of, this is for like undergrowth, sort of more established moss, sort of that kind of swampy floor crawling plant. That's what that sort of stuff's for. And then you get two little bags of very fine grain, long, well, grass, really, grass, reeds, whatever you want to use them for. Now, this stuff's about sort of like hair consistency. That's sort of how thin it is. It's like a strain of hair. You get two colours. You get the sort of the dry grass look and the fresh grass look. Now, you can either mix that together, or you can keep them separate for two different types of plants. It's completely up to you. But again, I mean, this stuff, you get enough in these packets to go forever, because that grass is long enough that you'd snip it down sort of 3 times in length so that you get little bushes, and it's just going to last forever. The other things you get is a small bottle of PVA in a squirty bottle, and you get a small bottle of realistic water. Now, obviously, it's branded Secret Weapon. This bottle's empty now. I have finished this on some bases. I'll show you those in a bit. I've got some Woodland Scenics version to fill it up with, because the little bottle's quite handy and it is refillable. Now, it's branded Woodland Scenic. Secret Weapon. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as the Woodland Scenics product. It does obviously take a while to dry, same as your Woodland Scenic stuff does. Hang on, I've just read on the bottle. Yeah, it says on the bottle that it's Woodland Scenics product. So by the sounds of it, they just decant it into their little bottles. Nonetheless, £13 for a very good basing kit. Very, very good product. Now, I'm going to show you a few of the bases that I've got from Secret Weapon. I've gone for the Blasted Wetlands bases. I've bought a range of the Blasted Wetlands bases to show you what they look like. And I've also bought sets of the hollow bases and made my own versions of the Woodland Scenics bases. Sorry, the Blasted Wetlands bases. Sorry, I'm getting my words all over the place today. Just to show you that with that basing kit, you really can create exactly the same as the bases normally. And obviously by doing that, get a much, much bigger range of variation in the bases rather than just repeating the same 10 bases. Now, these are the Secret Weapon miniature bases, and you'll see they're very, very nicely detailed, little sort of logs sort of poking out of them as you would get in the swamps. You can see where I've used the moss, if I can get this to focus. There we go. You can see where I've used the moss and some of the reeds coming out of growing out of the log there. Now you'll see all these bases are obviously hollow. That's because the idea of it is that you attach your miniature once you've painted your miniature, and then you fill them up with the realistic water, so it looks like they're actually in the swamp. And you see there some of that undergrowth there. Now the good thing about these things like the undergrowth, and if we can get this to focus, there we go, the undergrowth, once you put the realistic water in, this undergrowth soaks that in and almost sort of makes the undergrowth look even more realistic, almost as if it's floating amongst the water. Now I'll just push those aside, and I want to show you the ones that I've done through just the normal hollow bases and made myself with the basing kit. Just bring those all over. Okay, so this is the set that I've done, and this is the set from Secret Weapon. Now you'll see with a hollow base, get this to focus again for you guys, sorry about this, there we go, with the hollow base you can make it look almost exactly the same. It's such a good basing kit that it allows you to just create exactly the same as what they've already put on offer, and it gives you a lot more variation, obviously, rather than just the normal 10. Now I have cheated a little bit on these. You'll see all the little logs and things sticking up out of these. Secret Weapon, they do a small set of resin logs, so I've got those here, and obviously I've used some on these bases. Fantastic little bits of log and broken up sort of tree trunks and all sorts. Now they are all different scales, so you get tiny little ones like you see on these bases, all the way up to sort of, you'll see if I move that away, that sort of V-shaped one there that's quite big, that you'd use on maybe something like a dreadnought base, something along those lines. Speaking of which, I did also pick up some of the Secret Weapon dreadnought bases, just a couple of them, one for my Contemptor and one for the Decimator, just because I want them all to be on the same sort of theme. So there's those two there. Now you'll see these are already sculpted with the Secret Weapon stuff in there, the logs across the bottom, the undergrowth, it's got some plants coming out of there. Now once these fill up with water, they look absolutely brilliant, absolutely spot on. Now obviously I'm using those bigger ones for my feature pieces. I have done a set of Terminators already that have got the Secret Weapon bases on. I haven't completely finished them, they still need a bit more topping up. Let me just grab one out for you. They need a bit more topping up on the water, because you can only put it to a certain depth each time you put a layer of it on. You need to build it up in layers. And one thing that I would say as well is any PVA that you've used for the base, make sure it's completely dry before you put the water on. Otherwise the water will absorb some of the PVA and it will go cloudy. It will never ever go clear like the water you want it to be. So make sure you do let it dry completely. Now if I can get this to focus for you. There we go. So you'll see there, you can see the undergrowth in there soaks the water up, and the log at the front. And once that's completely full up and that water's level, that will look like he's sort of trudging through that swamp. And I just think the idea of swampland and logs and decay just fits really, really well in with obviously the Nurgle stuff. Now, these guys aren't finished by a long shot. They've got a lot of work that needs doing on them. But I just really wanted to try these bases, so I got some of them on the bases straight away. So really, guys, I mean, this kit, Secret Weapon miniatures, absolutely brilliant. Again, I ordered direct from them, so it did take a little while to get here, but to be honest with you, it cost me a lot less. They had a good promotion on there. They had, I think it was something like an extra 10% off with a certain code, and then they already had 20% off because they were doing a promotion. So I ended up getting sort of enough bases to do my whole sort of 5,000 point Chaos Army out, and it cost me about 60 quid. So next to nothing, including that basing kit. Really good company, really good products. Recommend them highly, guys. And that's it for that one. Any questions you got on them, just feel free to post them below. I'll try and answer them. I'll try and get some information for you if you've got questions on their products or sort of advice you want on sort of what to buy. Just let us know, guys. Right, hope you like this one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.